Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase, and I'm here with a very important message. We are at a turning point in the Black community where we must have equity in the apps we use that scale to billions of dollars. But this time, we own the infrastructure, we own the culture, and we shape the future. And Fanbase is the future. Fanbase combines the free functionality of Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube into an all-in-one platform built for the evolution of social media and monetization. With over 1.4 million users, that's real proof that we are shifting the conversation of tech ownership and equity for creators. So right now, I want you to go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $665 a share. This marks a turning point in Black ownership of social media. If we don't take this opportunity to own social media right now, we will always be customers to our own creations. And that can't go on. So once again, go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. We must own the platforms where our voices live, our stories matter, and where our culture drives the world. Thank you.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
I'm real revolutionary right now.
Support this man, Black media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
Stay Black. I love y'all.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig? Today's Tuesday, October 7, 2025, coming up on Roland Martin Unfiltered, streaming live on the Black Star Network. Day 7 of the government shutdown. We'll hear from Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer about the Democrats' plan to hold the line for American health care. Also, twice impeached, criminally convicted felon-in-chief Donald Trump is saying furloughed federal workers aren't guaranteed back pay. Airports are seeing major delays. We'll be joined by California Congresswoman Sydney Kamlager-Dove about all of the drama. Today, folks, in a heated hearing on Capitol Hill, Attorney General Pam Bondi testified regarding the Department of Justice. We say injustice. We'll show you some of the heated exchanges, especially with Illinois Senator Dick Durbin. The Louisiana NAACP is calling for accountability in the Kyren Lacy case. State police have also released body camera footage that they say shows that Lacy was rightfully blamed for the fatal crash. We'll talk to another candidate who's running for mayor of New Orleans. Plus, in our Shop Black Star Network Marketplace segment, we'll feature fashionable scrubs specifically for healthcare professionals. And Dr. Steve Perry will talk about their fight to open up a new school in Connecticut. Folks, it's lots of drama there. It's time to bring the funk on Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network. Let's go.
He's got it. Whatever the best, he's on it. Whatever it is, he's got the scoop, the fact, the find. And when it breaks, he's right on time and it's rolling. Best believe he's knowing. Putting it down from sports to news to politics. With entertainment just for kicks, he's rolling. It's on go, roll, y'all. It's Roland Martin, yeah. Rolling with Roland now. He's funky, he's fresh, he's real, the best, you know he's Roland Martin now.
Folks, day 7 of the government shutdown. Today, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries rejected a short-term extension of Obamacare, the Federal Care Act subsidies, as part of efforts to reopen the government. The shutdown is disrupting air travel nationwide. Staffing shortages have led to significant delays at airports. Now, furloughed federal employees may not get back pay when the government reopens. Joining us right now is California Congresswoman Sydney Kamlager-Dove. Glad to have you back on the show. Lots of drama at the Burbank airport. People on planes, and there were no air traffic controllers. How the hell does that happen?
I don't know how that happens, but it's happening because we're at day 7 of a government shutdown, completely preventable by Donald J. Trump and his Republican cronies. I have to tell you, I have toured air traffic control towers. These folks have highly stressful jobs. They are under-resourced, understaffed. They need all of our support. So I'm not offended that they said we can't do this, but it does show you how important, how pervasive government services are, and why Republicans need to come back to the negotiating table with us, because we don't want planes dropping out of the air, do we?
One of the things that, when we talk about this whole deal here, and I keep hearing this, and I asked this question to Senator Schumer as well, people are sitting here saying, hey, if Democrats, if you're going to swing, don't cave, don't buckle, and force these people to confront the issue of health care. And the polling numbers show more people are blaming the Republicans for this, and they also want those subsidies.
Absolutely. So, we've been to this rodeo before, and Democrats were upset that Chuck Schumer wasn't riding with his House set. Where I come from, that's what you got to do. You got to ride with your set. So Democrats in the House said, we are not voting for a clean CR because it is not clean. It is dirty. It is doubling down on the health care cuts that we saw in the big, ugly bill. So we are voting no. Now, if you want to cancel the cuts, then, we're here for this. But they're not willing to do that. And so here we are. I have to say that Medicaid, Medicare is on the table. People are already getting letters from their insurance companies telling them that their premiums are going to double. Deductibles, co-pays are going to double. Donald Trump, because he's so nasty, has already cut WIC and SNAP food assistance for hundreds of thousands of mothers with their new hungry babies. I've got 32,000 mothers and new babies in my district that don't have WIC or SNAP because Donald Trump just decided to be extra cruel while we're in this government shutdown. And when you can have Marjorie Taylor Greene post and say, hey, Mike Johnson, let's start negotiating with Democrats because even my kids' insurance is going to double, then that's when you know that they are full of you know what.
So, look, we saw last night the vote. We saw the vote in the Senate, the fifth vote there as well. And you've got Trump and you've got his people who are kind of like, you know what, who gives a damn? Let them starve. You've got Russell Vought wants to do what he wants to do. You've got crazed, deranged white supremacist Stephen Miller as well. I think the only way this works is also, I think, what Democrats have to be doing. I get politicians showing up doing media as well, but they also have to be putting a face on this. Putting out there, Dr. Bishop William Barber always talks about show impacted people. I think that's also critically important, so people understand that when we talk about, government shutdown, furloughed workers, people not working, those are individuals, those are families as well who are being impacted.
Absolutely, Roland. We know that federal workers, many of them are living paycheck to paycheck, and they are showing up every day to help us. I think about Sandy. Sandy's a constituent of mine. She actually helps families manage through their Medicare. I had to call Sandy for my dad. I was so grateful that she was able to answer my call and help me navigate the Medicare system for my dad. Oh my God, if Sandy's furloughed or not able to work and help other families like mine. I think about so many students who are on GI bills who now are getting letters saying that, they're not going to get their benefits. I'm thinking about so many of the mothers that I see in the doula classes in my district, who have to deal with the potential of maternity wards closing because the hospitals don't have the money to keep the doors open. I think about the thousands of folks that I saw last week that are working at St. John's Community Healthcare Clinic. It's a clinic that services, a lot of LA County, 10 million people, Roland. And A, their jobs are in jeopardy if reimbursements stop. And B, thinking about all the folks that are not able to go to them anymore because they are looking at their healthcare cuts, at the healthcare cuts happening or healthcare costs doubling. These are families that look like yours and mine. I've been to the WIC offices. I've seen the mothers with the new babies, the young mothers with the new babies, and they're trying to get, diapers, and they're trying to get baby formula. What have they done to deserve this?
What do you say to the person who says, you know what, this doesn't affect me? I'm unbothered.
You should get bothered. A, if you're a Christian, you should be bothered. B, 3/4 of ACA, Obamacare, Medicaid enrollees are in red states that Trump won. So this isn't just about, hurting Democrats. It's about hurting Americans. You are impacted, even if you're not on any of these healthcare services by the government, because your premiums are still going to go up, because the insurance companies are going to have to raise your rates to cover for what they're not getting because the government has shut down and because these cuts are coming. I'm not on any of those services, but the doctors that I see get reimbursed because of the patients that are on Medicaid or Medi-Cal in California or Medicare. And I want to go to see my doctor, but if my doctor has to shut their doors because of all of this nonsense coming from, the Trump administration, then we all hurt. And let's not forget, we're also talking about jobs, hundreds of thousands of jobs that are in peril. And then we could go on about how Donald Trump is continuing to attack Black people. That's a whole other conversation. But everyone's impacted by this. On top of the tariffs, the cost of living going up, and your insurance costs doubling. So they need to negotiate with us, and they know they need to, but they also don't know how to eat humble pie and come out of this hole they've dug for themselves and figure out when it's time to start fighting for the American people rather than bowing down to Donald Trump.
I do want to ask you about farmers. We have seen a lot of these red state farmers whining, complaining about how they are losing money and how they're getting screwed because of tariffs. And it's hard to say, but I literally said, the hell with them. I'm sorry. If you are in Nebraska, Iowa, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan, if you are in Ohio, all those states, Arkansas, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, Texas, they all voted for Trump. So when they voted for this. And so what's crazy to me is they want Democrats. Oh, they want Democrats to bail them out. They want Democrats to stand with them. And I'm going to be honest, y'all not going to get rewarded. These folks aren't going to remember that. I remember the first stimulus bill of Obama. He saved the asses of Elkhart, Indiana. Numerous those towns in Indiana were for stimulus. Did they support him? Nope. Nope. They did not. And so to me, hey, this is where hashtag we tried to tell you. Y'all go talk to them because that's your savior. That's your cult leader. Yeah. He screwed you. Not only this time, but he did to you last time. Did y'all forget?
Yeah, this is the find out phase. I'll tell you, Roland, I had a strange experience. I had someone from Mississippi come to my office, and a businessman has an investment, has a plant in Brazil. You know, Brazil's being hit hard with these tariffs because Donald Trump is riding with Bolsonaro, you know, rather than the entire country of Brazil. Makes absolutely no sense. And the man from Mississippi said, well, can you help? Because I know you're on foreign affairs and these tariffs are terrible. And I said, you know, I think you voted for him. So I don't understand why now you're complaining. And if these are going to hurt you so much, these tariffs, I don't know why you're not talking to your representatives from Mississippi. What do they have to say? And he said, well, the Republicans, you know, it was crickets. They didn't have anything to say to him. So he was coming to a Democrat. And, you know, we had a real honest conversation about that. And the farmers, Roland, you know, now Donald Trump is saying, oh, we're going to give some money back to the farmers, but you wouldn't have to do that if you were not if you hadn't put these tariffs out there, which are actually only impacting and hurting American consumers and producers. So in fact, Donald Trump is saying, I'm just going to give your money back to you rather than giving you any additional help, A. And then B, real talk. Is this money actually going to go to local, real farmers, people that we're thinking about, like the guy in the overalls milking the cows? Or is it going to go to these big agro businesses? And if that money is not going to help the small people that we're talking about. So they need to have real conversations about what's really going on and how this money is continuing to be stolen from the coffers of the taxpayers, you know, our coffers, and really sort of shuttled into the bank accounts of the super, super, super rich at the expense of everyone else. And everyone else has to ask themselves, why do they continue to want Democrats to bail them out when they keep voting against their own self-interests?
Yep, I'm with them. Go talk to your people. Go talk to Cindy Hyde-Smith. Go talk to Marsha. Go talk to your people. Go talk to them and see what they can do, because that's who you keep voting for.
That's what I told him. He was so sad. He looked at me. He was so sad.
And that's what I just keep thinking
but
about.
It's the truth.
Right. And I just think, it's like, I'm sorry. You're not going to sit here and vote against your interest, but then you want Democrats to bail your ass out, and you want to keep rewarding them. And then I love this here. Right. Oh, well, we didn't vote for this. Yeah, actually, it came with it. It came with it. Yeah, it all came together in one package. It's not like, oh, no, I voted for this, not that. Yes, you voted for all of it.
You voted for all of 2025, and it was in there, and everyone kept telling you about it, okay? And they do have a section in there about what they're going to do to farmers, about how they're going to erode the USDA, about how they're not going to give subsidies, about how they want to shut down the small farmers and make everything, you know, go to the super big agro businesses. They talked about all that. They want your food to be more expensive. They want it to be less fresh, and they're not looking out for you. So at the end of the day, folks decided to vote for Donald Trump because they were afraid of voting for a Black woman. And now here we are in the find out phase, and everything that she predicted would come true is happening in real time. And folks are running to Democrats saying, will you save us? Now, obviously, we're fighting the good fight for the American people, but we have to shade you to help you see the error of your ways and to let you know that no one can stomach this long term. This chaos to the Constitution, to our democracy, to our rights, it's unsustainable, and it's also unnecessary. This man has never said he loves this country. And we have the most incompetent, unqualified, racist, and bigoted cabinet in the history of this country. And I'm even including Reconstruction days. So we have to continue to talk about that. We have to continue to talk about, why is Pete Hegseth saying diversity isn't our strength, and then yelling at folks because of their weight, when we are making ourselves less safe with allies abroad? You know, why are we letting Donald Trump say crazy things about tariffs and this economy, and not actually trying to figure out how to look out for the American people? Why is Donald Trump actually lying and saying that he's going to, not provide back pay, or the government isn't going to give federal workers back pay for being furloughed? That's illegal. So we have to push back on him, and corporate media has to be part of this pushback too.
Well, we know they've sold out for Donald Trump. So I mean that ain't happening. That ain't gonna happen. They've totally
shade him.
I will be at. I believe in shade. They call me King Petty for a reason. So I'm absolutely about throwing shade towards them. All right, Congresswoman, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Always good to see you, Roland.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right, folks. Minority Leader Chuck Schumer got a chance to talk to him. Last time he was on the show was 5 years ago. We caught up talking about this government shutdown and the expectations people have for Democrats. Here's our conversation. Senator Schumer, glad to have you here. It's been a while since we had you, but glad to see you. First off, and I've been around the country a lot the last couple of weeks. And what people have been asking me, they said very simple: are the Democrats going to cave? How strong are y'all going to stay into the shutdown?
Well, look, they've tried 5 times to force us to vote on their partisan bill that doesn't do a thing to help people's health care, and we have stayed strong. And the reason's very simple, Roland. This bill, the Republicans have done such damage to the health care in America for people in so many ways, by $1 trillion of cuts in Medicaid, the most we've ever seen, by refusing to extend the ACA tax credits next year, which will cause the average American's premium to rise $900 a month. How does the average working family pay $900 a month? And by the way, if you're older, you pay even more. A couple making $80,000 and who is 55 years old couple will pay $25,000. So the American people understand, we've been working for 3 months talking about this, that we have an obligation to make their health care better. Rural hospitals are closing, families are struggling, nursing homes are telling their patients that they have to leave because there's no money, there's no Medicaid money, and vital research that helps us cure cancer and deals with issues like Alzheimer's and diabetes, gone. And so this is very, very bad for America. And Democrats are fighting strong, fighting hard, fighting united. We have our senators every day. This week, we were on, I think we had 85 different appearances on various media shows. We're letting America know how bad this is, and we're letting them know that the Republicans want to take away their health care so they can give tax breaks to the billionaires. And that message is resonating, so our caucus is strong.
Absolutely. And look, one of the other issues that we're seeing these farmers out here talk about how they're being impacted by these tariffs as well. You know, and listen, it's a whole bunch of these folks complaining in red states. They voted for Trump, and they say, we didn't vote for this. And I'm like, so this is all a part of the same thing. His policies are negatively impacting the American people. And, you know, these farmers, they want Democrats to helpfully bail them out. And I'm sitting there going, go talk to the people you voted for.
You got it. You know, he said the number one thing facing America is just higher costs for groceries, higher costs for electricity, higher costs for healthcare, higher costs for cars, for buying a furniture or formula for the babies. And that's the number one issue. On day one, Trump said, I'll get your costs down. Well, they've gone up and up and up because of healthcare, because of tariffs, because of what he's done with electric rates, because he's done so many bad things. And you're right. The people who voted for Trump are now realizing how bad he is on extending these ACA tax credits, you know, which would raise people's rates, $900, $1,000. 55% of the people who voted for Trump, Roland, want us to extend those credits because they want them. They need them. They can't live without them. And you know, this is not just money, it's life and death. It's estimated that if his health care cuts go through, 51,000 people will die this year, at least. That's a horrible thing.
Yeah, I mean, I had someone who's a panelist on our show whose sister or whose cousin died and really died from poverty, lack of health care. Also, when it came to, you know, not being able to have proper nutrition. And this is where, I've been very aggressive in challenging these so-called conservative evangelicals claiming they love Jesus. But it's amazing how they vote against the policies that Jesus would have supported.
You betcha. And the bottom line here is that we are fighting this fight tooth and nail. And we're doing a lot better than people think. You know, everyone thought, oh boy, Trump will win. He'll blame the Democrats for the shutdown. Well, first, they're causing the shutdown by not even negotiating with us. The bill that Johnson sent over, he sent over a bill that had no Democratic input. And he said, take it or leave it. And can you believe this? We're in a government shutdown. He sent the House members home. So the House members are getting paid and not working, but our federal workers are working and getting not paid. It's the exact contradiction. And so the American people know that it's the Republicans causing this shutdown. The Trump voters know that it's the Republicans causing this shutdown. And it's not over just a political fight. As I said, it's life and death. It's people's health care. You know, a mom whose daughter has cancer and is now she's getting treatment and they cut that off because it's from Medicaid. What is that mom going to do?
Got to ask you this here. I've been, granted, you got some 2025 races coming up, but a lot of people are already talking about 2026 Senate races. And we saw in North Carolina more than 600,000 black voters who did not vote in 2024, more than 1 million in Georgia. Texas, largest group of black voters in the country, and you got a Senate race there as well. And I got to tell you straight, one of the great issues concerns that I have, and I'm being very frank, are too many, frankly, white Democratic strategists who are playing black people small. And when I looked at the Mandela Barnes race, when I looked at the race in North Carolina as well, too often what I'm hearing is that, and the same thing happened with in the Texas race, you had a candidate who was sitting here, a congressman, Colin Allred, they were not targeting African Americans at all. This is a huge issue that it needs to be addressed, the investment and the time and attention spent on black voters. And I don't think you're gonna have a shot at winning seats in 2026 where you have a lot of black voters if these same strategists keep playing the same game. Are you and others talking to them say they've got to change how they are targeting key Democratic voters? Especially black men.
We have Cory Booker as head of our SCC, and he is focused on bringing in not black voters only, but black consultants, black influencers, and people who reach out to the community. All too often, Democrats miss that. We have Raphael Warnock, who's active in our DSCC, Democratic Senate Campaign Committee, doing the same. We have a woman who's from the community, Jessica Henry, who's in charge of giving out a lot of these contracts. I'll give you one other interesting thing. It's related to what you say, but not direct. We have a chance to elect the first African-American U.S. Senator in Mississippi in a very long time. This man, Scott Collum, was nominated to be the first African-American judge in Mississippi, federal judge in 100 years, and the incumbent woman in Senate, Hyde Smith, blocked him using the blue slip. He's running, and we're going all out. I have Derek Jackson of the NAACP working. I have Romero of the ACLU working. We're all working there, and if people are listening from Mississippi or friends and relatives in Mississippi, we can win this seat. But we'll only win it, as you say, by reaching out to the community from people who know the community.
Well, I'm glad to hear that because that's one of my biggest issues. So whether it was Sherry Beasley or Colin Allred or Val Demings and some of the other races, it was driving me crazy as I was talking directly with their campaigns and was getting very little feedback. And so, again, that's a lot of people are paying attention to. And we've seen the black voter drop, especially with black men, and there has to be a very specific, targeted effort to reach African Americans. It's a lot different than what we've seen in the past decade, to be honest.
No question. We're going to do it.
All right, Senator Schumer, appreciate it. I know you're busy and look forward to having you back on the show.
I look forward to coming back and take care and good health, bro.
All right, likewise. Thanks a lot. All right, folks, we're going to go to a break. We come back. We want to chat with my panel about that conversation. You're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network.
Said the quiet part out loud. Black votes are a threat, so they erased them. After the Supreme Court gutted the Voting Rights Act in 2013, Republican legislatures moved fast. New voter ID laws, polling place shutdowns, purges of black voters from the rolls. Trump's Justice Department didn't stop it, they joined in. In 2018, his DOJ backed Ohio's voter purge system, a scheme that disproportionately erased black voters. Their goal, erase black votes and political power. Yeah, that happened. These are the kinds of stories that we cover every day on Roland Martin Unfiltered. Subscribe on YouTube and download the Black Star Network app. Support fact-based independent journalism that centers African Americans and the issues that matter to our community.
If in this country right now, you have people get up in the morning and the only thing they can think about is how many people they can hurt, and they got the power, that's the time for mourning.
For better or worse, what makes America special, it's that legal system that's supposed to protect minorities from the tyranny of the majority.
We are at a point of a moral emergency. We must raise a voice of outrage. We must raise a voice of compassion. And we must raise a voice of unity.
We are not in a crisis of party versus party. We are in a crisis of civilization, a human rights crisis, and a crisis of democracy itself. And guess what? You've been chosen to make sure that those that would destroy, those that would hate, don't have the final say, and they don't ultimately win.
Hello, I'm Bishop T.D. Jakes, and you're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
All right, folks, let's bring in my panel. Dr. Mustafa Santiago Ali, former senior advisor for environmental justice at the EPA out of D.C. Randy Bryant, entrepreneur, author, speaker, creator of The Truthing Game, also out of D.C. Joe Richardson, civil rights attorney out of Los Angeles. Glad to have all three of you on the show. Mustafa, I'll start with you. You heard what Senator Schumer there had to say, and also Representative Dove there. Look, Democrats got no choice but to fight, and they cannot afford to buckle at all.
No, they can't give 1 inch because we understand that the Republican Party never does. They actually continue to take and take and take. So they've got to stand up. They've got to make sure that they hold in this moment because people are actually counting on them. Because since they are not in control of either of the three branches of government, this is their moment. This is their moment to actually show folks that they are serious and that the vote that they are trying to garner from them actually will be well protected. So in this moment, we will see if Democrats actually make sure that they have a spine, if they make sure that they stand up for working class folks across our country and our most vulnerable communities. And the truth will be in the pudding, as they say.
What has to happen here, Randy, they have to stay on the offensive every single day. He talked about, different media hits. Listen, it has to be around the clock, beginning at 5 a.m., going until midnight. They got to be hitting on all, just pounding away at Republicans.
They do. To be honest, I haven't heard enough from Democrats right now. I would like to see more of them in the news. I feel as if the Republicans have become so professional at lying that the rhetoric that the Democrats are responsible for the shutdown is taking hold. And so I really do. I'm like you. I want to see them around the clock talking. And something you mentioned earlier, let American people talk. Show how this shutdown is affecting everyone. I've seen a lot of news about what's happening with the airlines, but people are also already being affected just on their day-to-day lives. So I think we need to highlight that and make it where there's relatable stories. Show the humanity of what's happening behind these votes. And they have to stay strong with this vote. I've never seen a bully conquered by giving up or giving in.
And Joe, listen, the air traffic controls is an issue, and you got to highlight stuff like that because the stuff that impacts regular, ordinary people, that to me has to happen.
Right, for sure. Let people understand that at Burbank Airport yesterday there were no air traffic controllers at some point, and so that's a very practical way that this shutdown is going to affect people. Let these healthcare premiums hit. This is right about the time where where folks are getting notice of what their new premiums are going to be, and they're double to triple in some cases, in more cases than there ought to be. Let that hit. Let that sink in. Let that be the narrative so that people understand the practical effect right now of what it is that's going on. And then it become much more clear, all the more clear and understandable what the Democrats here are fighting for. Because I'm going to tell you this, if they fold and the premiums go up 2 to 3 times, the Republicans are going to find a way to blame the Democrats for it. Now, this whole thing got passed with no Democratic support, the big, beautiful bill and whatnot. And that's what actually did it. But it doesn't matter what's truth and what's not true anymore. Republicans will seize a narrative in a second, make up information, but you can't make up the fact that somebody doesn't have something that they're used to being able to have, whether it's the ability to pay for their health care, the ability to go to work, earn a check every 2 weeks. This first partial check ought to be hitting this week, where people are going to be missing money. And they need to continue to hammer on that narrative and say, this is why that is happening. And this whole, you better bring us back or we're going to get rid of jobs. You've been getting rid of jobs since January 20th. Let folks know that this is what they do and this is what they'll continue to do. And this is why we're fighting.
Mustafa, the point I raised with Senator Schumer regarding these 2026 races, I'm dead serious. These white Democratic strategists have been screwing up when it comes to reaching the black folks, black vote. The advice they've been giving these black candidates has been absolutely awful. And Schumer and others had better get the message, because they're going to continue to get their asses kicked if they are abysmal when it comes to reaching out to black voters. And that means spending money on advertising, spending time, resources. The game plan they've been running before is just idiotic. It don't work anymore.
It most definitely doesn't work. There's a quote that I was raised on that says, "Don't tell me you love me, but show me you love me." Because every time folks get in front of cameras, they say one thing, but when it comes to making those smart decisions about not just engaging with black voters, but making sure the infrastructure is there. And part of that infrastructure is actually the business side of the equation, and making sure that you're hiring black consultants, that you're hiring those folks who can actually help to move the needle. So I'm past the rhetoric. I don't want to hear that. I want to make sure that those dollars are coming back to our communities for the folks who have the expertise, who know how to reach us, who know the issues inside and out. And if you're not serious about that, then you're not serious about our vote. And that's exactly where many people who I'm talking to actually feel. So if you want our vote, then show us that you love us by your actions.
Randy.
It just seems to me that, I was a DEI person. And so, of course, I have to go back to this. I don't understand why they think people who have never really engaged with the black community probably have not even had a black friend, because 3 out of 4 white people do not have a black friend. That's been, proven, that how those people would map out a plan to reach black people. I don't understand why they would think that those people would know what our concerns are. And so it's insane to me that it wouldn't be illogical to them that they would have to have diversity. They would have to have black people on staff to, talk about how they're going to reach black people. people. It just seems common sense. There is no way that we can stick with the old pattern of hiring these all-white consulting firms to reach out to a very diverse country. And they need to wake up to what this country is now and what the people need.
And Joe, I'm going to keep lighting their ass up about it.
Yeah, and this time around, the Republic is at stake, right? It's been at stake and being chipped away at for quite some time. And we all need to collectively and individually hammer them and say, what are you doing? I'm from LA, but today I'm gonna be from Missouri, so you got to show me. What are you actually doing? How are you addressing this? Let me holler at all of you moderate Democrats that decide to jump on the anti-woke train. Let me holler at all y'all, okay? And let me know, so what are you doing and why am I voting for you and why am I not supporting you getting primaried? You need to show it to us, because the fact of the matter is the black vote is the reason why Democrats have won office when they have, particularly on the presidential side, et cetera, in the last 40, 50 years. So you better show me something, because otherwise you're going to have a serious problem.
All right, folks, going to a break. When we come back, we'll talk with Steve Perry about his battle to open a new school in Connecticut. They are going tooth and nail with politicians there. Folks, you're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network. Support the work that we do. Join our Bring the Funk fan club. Your dollars are critically important to our work. If you want to contribute via Cash App, use the Stripe QR code. You see it right here, bottom left-hand corner. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle, Roland at RolandSMartin.com. Roland at RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Check your money order. Make it payable to Roland Martin Unfiltered. P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 2003 7-0196. Back in a moment.
Next on the Black Table with me, Craig Carr. A reminder that there is always more to a story than meets the eye. From book bannings, growing censorship in our classrooms, and the loss of basic human rights, the actual motivations behind those actions and others paint an even more troubling picture than most of us realize.
What we need to do is bring this issue front and center to the table, because the alternative is that we'll just go down slow, which is no way to go down.
Master historian and educator Dr. Gerald Horne joins us again, and we take a deep dive into the truths behind the headlines of the day and how we might be able to turn the tide. That's on the next Black Table here on the Black Star Network.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase, and I'm here with a very important message. We are at a turning point in the Black community where we must have equity in the apps we use that scale to billions of dollars. But this time, we own the infrastructure, we own the culture, and we shape the future. And Fanbase is the future. Fanbase combines the free functionality of Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube into an all-in-one platform built for the evolution of social media and monetization. With over 1.4 million users, that's real proof that we are shifting the conversation of tech ownership and equity for creators. So right now, I want you to go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $665 a share. This marks a turning point in Black ownership of social media. If we don't take this opportunity to own social media right now, we will always be customers to our own creations. And that can't go on. So once again, go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. We must own the platforms where our voices live, our stories matter, and where our culture drives the world. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lavelle Crawford. I ain't wearing a bow tie today because I wanted to breathe. And you're watching
Roland Martin Unfiltered.
Folks, we talk about education in this country. We know it absolutely matters. And what we have seen have been highly successful charter schools that, frankly, should get an opportunity, in my estimation, to do more. But what happens when you have politicians who are hell-bent on stopping that from happening? That's what Dr. Steve Perry is dealing with his charter school network. He is battling in the state of Connecticut. He joins us right now. Steve, glad to have you back on the show. Explain to people what the heck is going on there with you trying to educate more of our children.
Thank you so much, Roland. I deeply appreciate this opportunity. You got me at a truck stop. I'm coming back from my schools in Harlem and the Bronx, going back to Connecticut. But the state is breaking the law. Literally, the State Department of Education, through the commissioner, is breaking the law. The law clearly states that the General Assembly provides money to the State Board of Education, and the State Board of Education is supposed to disperse those funds, as you've seen in any other request for proposals. The State Board of Education put out a request for proposals in 2022. They said they want to see who could operate more charter schools in the state of Connecticut. We put in a request for proposal. We answered the request for proposal. We were chosen as the number one school. But through some backdoor dealings and skullduggery, they thought that they were taking capital prep out of the budget. But in fact, it wasn't the General Assembly's right to do so. The only people who could take us away in this situation was the actual Board of Education. And right now, through some very disappointing behavior by the state's commissioner, that's Charlene Russell Tucker, and quite frankly, their attorney, a man by the name of Mike McKeon, they've decided to take away the opportunity that we've earned. So we're the number one applicant. And Roland, check this out. Our school is 100% Black and Latin in Bridgeport, 100%. We had the number one high school in the state of Connecticut for preparing children for four-year colleges. So we had the number one application, and we have the number one performing high school by way of preparing children for college. So we got justification on top of justification. They've broken the law, and they know they've broken the law. And I have the receipts to show that they have. So tomorrow there is a public hearing in Connecticut again, where they're going to announce that they didn't break the law. So here's something really interesting, Roland. The State Department of Education's attorney, his name is Mike McKeon, wrote a letter in part with the governor's office. They didn't mention that it was he who had written the letter. He used that as the foundation for his judgment to say that he, in his role now as the state education's department's attorney, has decided that he didn't break the law. So he said that he didn't break the law. And we're asking the State Board of Education to say, enough is enough. This school deserves to open. The school would serve all children. But the problem in Connecticut, like so many other states, is there's such a disparity between the performance of Black children and white children. In this particular town, which is a town called Middletown, Connecticut, my actual hometown, Roland.
So
the percentage of Black children are reading below grade level twice as that of white kids. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So I'm confused here. You're number one. So this isn't like the number 4 or 5 ranked saying, hey, this is unfair. You're number one.
Yeah.
What the hell is the rationale? And this is what I have always said. And I've been very clear. And when I launched school choice is the Black choice, I said point blank that if there are traditional public schools that are killing it, study, replicate it. If there are charter schools killing it, they should have an opportunity to expand. If there are traditional schools that suck, gotta go. And if there are charter schools that suck, they gotta go. So what I don't understand is, and go to my iPad, Charlene Russell Tucker, the education commissioner, that's a Black woman. So this Black woman is fighting a charter school that is successfully educating Black and Latino kids.
Because here's where it gets really goofy, Roland. So the state senator from one of the towns that this school would draw from is a woman by the name of Jan Hockedal. That's important to understand. Jan Hockedel is a state senator and the president of the state's teachers union. I want to repeat that again. You just can't make this stuff up. Jan Hockedel is the president of the state's teachers union, and she's also a state senator, and she went into the budget with the Senate Pro Tem, Marty Looney, and they decided that they were going to pull capital prep out of the budget. But here's the problem, Roland. They don't have the authority to do so. The law says that the General Assembly gives the money to the State Board of Education, who then offers grants. And those, if there's two or more schools, one or more schools approved in the same year, but they're awaiting funding and there's not enough money, then the State Board of Education is supposed to select which school is funded first. We're the number one applicant. We're number one. And we're number one in terms of our other school in terms of overall performance and preparation for college. In fact, Roland, our school in Bridgeport, Capital Prep Harbor, 100% of our children have been accepted to four-year colleges, not just for the past 10 years from that school, but that school already had 100% acceptance at the end of August. So you have a school founded by Black and Latin people that's serving Black and Latin people, that's outperforming the wealthiest, whitest schools in the state and some of the wealthiest, whitest schools in the United States of America. And Charlene Russell Tucker, a woman who's never worked in a K-12 school, never. She is not a certified teacher. She's not a certified administrator. She has no certifications ever, nothing. So she has allowed herself to be put out there as a puppet of the teachers union. Now, here's the second part is the vice chair of the State Board of Education, a woman by the name of Erin Bynum. She's also a local president of the teachers union. So you have a state senator, president of the teachers union. You have the board co-chair, who's the president of a local teachers union, combining to create a logjam. And here's where the problem lies, Roland. They're actually breaking the law. It's not even whether you like me or don't like me, or you like our schools or you don't like our schools, you like charter schools, you don't like charter schools. The law clearly states that the state General Assembly gives money to the State Board of Education to disperse for grants for charter schools. Now, Roland, you've seen requests for proposals or RFPs all over the country, right? They're scored, right? That's what they do, right? A department puts out an RFP. Either the highest score or the lowest bidder is awarded the contract. It's just simple. That's what should happen here, but it's not what is happening. And for them, the most important thing to happen is for them to keep this under wraps so people don't see. The last thing that Russell Tucker wants, and right now, even the governor, I'm fighting the governor. So there's a Democratic governor, a Black woman who's the state commissioner, and I'm fighting them.
So you mentioned
in our community.
So you mentioned Charlene Russell Tucker. Who was the person you said was the vice? Who was the number two? Hold on.
So the vice chair is a woman by the name of Erin Bynum. Erin Bynum was, watch this, Roland. Erin Bynum was the teachers union president in Meriden, Connecticut.
Erin Bynum. So go to my iPad. This right here is Erin Bynum. Y'all, this is who she is. This is her right here. And the state rep you're talking about, this is her right here, Jan Hockedel, the deputy majority leader.
Both teachers unions presidents, both from Meriden. You know who else is from Meriden? The former Secretary of Education. And so these people together are working, not the former secretary, but I'm saying that they're all from the same town. They're being allowed to stop a school, but more important than stopping a school, they're breaking the law. It's just that simple. So we sat down, Roland, I'm gonna tell you the whole truth. So back in last fall, we found out that they were breaking the law. So I called the commissioner. I called her. And Roland, she has said to me, you've done these things too with people. People say, hey, Roland, you ever got a problem with me? You just call me. Just call me. Don't go around me. So I called her. I said, hey, Commissioner Russell Tucker, I just want to point something out to you. I think y'all broke the law. And she said, well, what are you talking about? I said, it says here that the State Board of Education is supposed to select which school is funded first, not the General Assembly. You're the State Board of Education. So you're supposed to choose not the General Assembly. She said, we've never done it that way before. I said, sis, look, I don't think you should say that too many more times because you really are breaking the law, and I don't want that to happen for you. So she says, well, you know, no one's ever said this to me. No one's ever shown me. We've just never done it this way. I said, sis, listen, here's what I'm saying to you. Please, we have a really elegant solution. The money's in the budget. It's really easy to solve this problem. Just put us on the board agenda, follow the law, and approve the school. Because the school's already been selected as the #1 applicant. So you already did that. You picked us #1. You sent us over to the General Assembly as #1. They did some backdoor stuff, said that they're not going to fund us, but they put money in there for a charter school, which has to go to the #1 school. Regardless of what they say, it has to go to the #1 school. She said, you know what? I got you. Let's see what we can do. I'll work with you. I got the text messages to prove it. Like you do, I keep the text messages, right? And so when we start talking again, she got a whole new attitude. What we found, we did a FOIA. She had been talking to those two, Jan Hockedal, the state senator and union president. Like we have the FOIA, she was communicating with them. Yep, that one right there. And we know that she was communicating with another person. This is a union shill. His name is Matt Lesser. And the two of them got A ratings by the teachers union. And the last thing that they want is my black behind to open another school in this state. They don't care that we're educating children. They don't care that we're taking children who are 2, 3, 4, 5 grade levels behind and putting them in college by the time they're seniors. They don't care about that. What they care about is they want to stop, me in particular, but us in general. Even if it means they're going to stop creating opportunities for children. Let me tell you something, Roland, that Aaron Bynum, the vice chair, said. So we were in a meeting recently, we were in a hearing recently, and she said to me, what happens if the kids don't want to go to college? I said,
okay, you hold on one second. You said, hold on, Steve. You said they were talking with Matt Lesser, another state senator?
Yeah, Matt. Yeah. Matt
okay,
Lesser.
All right, go to my iPad. All right.
Matt Lesser, I'm going to tell you a story about Matt Lesser. But she said, well, what if they don't want to go to college? I said, the name of the school is Capital Preparatory School, like we're a prep school. If we were a VOTEC school, then you would ask that question. I said, but what you don't ask is these wealthy white schools whether or not the kids don't want to go to college. This is the mindset, brother. They don't care about our children. This is straight garden variety, embarrassing, grotesque politics. Matt Lesser, who you see right there, started to claim that he was Latin in order to get into the Black and Puerto Rican caucus. You can't make this stuff up. You just can't make it up. Straight culture vulture. So, yeah, really.
Questions from the panel. Joe, I'll start with you.
Well, brother, I appreciate what you're doing. You've been doing it a long time. But talk about, if you can, if this is something that you often see. The folks that are supposed to be, when it comes to this, it seems to me it's important to make the point that this is not necessarily just a Democrat-Republican thing. Anyone who's establishment and is entitled can, try to muscle out someone who's earned a place, who's earned a right. We know what you've done from a career standpoint. We know what you've done in other places. And then you come in #1, and the quote liberals, the quote, pro-teacher union folks are trying to rub you out. Is this something that you see often? And what does this say about just the challenges that you face in terms of delivering this incredible service of high expectation and high achievement to Black and brown children?
The single most consistent obstacle to us, to our operation, is the Democratic Party, most specifically liberals. And it doesn't matter what color. It just doesn't.
Wow.
It just doesn't. And now, let's be clear. I'm not saying that the Republicans are on our side. I'm just telling you that in a state where the governor is a Democrat, where the state senators from this district are Democrats, and where we have proven ourselves. I didn't say this, Roland, earlier. Capital Prep in Bridgeport serves 100% Black and Latin children, but I didn't tell you this, almost 70% poor. We're one of the poorest, Blackest schools in the state, and we are preparing children for college at a rate higher than every other high school in the entire state. That's not my opinion. That's based upon the state's own assessment. That's them. I didn't say that. That's them. I couldn't say it if it wasn't so. It's called Next Gen data. And so they put together all the parts. That means our kids are taking college classes while still in high school. We have an 8th grader taking college classes who's 13 years old. So one of the hardest parts about this, Roland, is when I talk to the children and I say to them, just like so many black fathers do, you got to be twice as good. And then they say back to me, but Dr. Perry, we're number one. What happens even when you're number one and people are supposed to be on your side don't share the support? Because that's really what's happening here. It's so important that we understand I'm not coming with hat in hand saying, please, will you give us a shot? We've been sending kids to college at a rate of 100% for 20 years. People act like that's a thing, like that ain't no thing. 100% of our Latin children graduated from high school last year. 97% of our black children graduated in 4 years last year. This is from our school in Bridgeport. And 100% of our special needs children graduated. And all of those were accepted to 4-year colleges, every single one. So if all the black children, all the Latin children, and all the special needs kids had gone to one of our schools, all of them would have graduated last year. Explain to me how anybody could call themselves an educator or even somebody who cares about black and Latin children and stand in the way of anyone who's doing that, anyone at all. Show me an example. Like, how can you dare say that you care about our children, yet you're standing in the way of a proven commodity? Proven. We're not some project that you need to take a look at. We're in the game. And for the record, there's no long line of people who want to do this work. There's no long line. There's a teacher shortage, so you know damn well there's a founder's shortage.
Steve, before I go to Randy with a question, you said that you also are fighting the governor. Go to my iPad, Anthony. Governor Ned Lamont. Explain that.
Governor Ned Lamont has, for reasons that are beyond my comprehension, allowed himself to be put in the middle of something he really ain't got no problem, no business doing. He's going to struggle right now to win his re-election campaign. He is not someone who has deep connections to the black community, not at all. And we're right now organizing black people from the biggest cities in the state, black pastors, black imams, parents, and community leaders. He doesn't need this smoke. He really doesn't. He's going to face, even in his party, a very likely primary.
Got it.
And he is not, he's a very, very wealthy man, and he was able to self-fund his campaign. But in this state that claims to be blue, I look around here and see a whole bunch of Trump signs. I mean, they're everywhere. So why would he jump in the middle? So what he's allowed himself to do is to weigh in on something that he didn't need to weigh in on. He said basically, you're going to laugh at this one. While the law says what it says, what they're attempting to do is to quote a former state legislator who had an opinion that never made its way to the law, like just floor debate. So they're saying that the floor debate means more than the actual voted upon law.
All right, so here's the deal. I'm running out of time. I got the candidate for New Orleans mayor coming up next, Randy Mustafa. Quick question, quick answer. Randy, go.
Dr. Perry, just thank you for all that you do to help our kids.
Quick question, quick question. I need a quick question. My guest is waiting.
What's one thing that people can do to support you? And
reach out to the governor, sis. Thank you so much. Reach out to the governor and tell him, let our people go. We're just trying to open a school. They open more weed spots than they do schools. We just want a school. They can keep opening their weed spots.
Mustafa.
Thank
you. Dr. Perry, what's your formula for success?
Love. We love our kids as our own. They mean everything to us. And the people who don't love our children don't get to work with them for very long. But we love our kids. It really is that simple. We genuinely, from our soul, love our kids.
So, folks, these are the folks who Steve named. Go to my iPad. Governor Ned Lamont, the Connecticut governor. Come on, Governor Ned Lamont. Also, State Senator Matt Lesser. You have here this board vice chair, Aaron Benham. You also have the secretary of the board, but also Commissioner there, Shirley Russell Tucker, and then, of course, you have State Senator Jan Hockadell. We're going to be putting calls into all of them, inviting them to come on the show to explain all of this. Steve Perry, I appreciate it, man. Thanks a bunch. What time is this forum tomorrow?
So we're going to be there at 4:30 in North Haven, Connecticut.
So the forum starts at 4:30?
Yeah. It does, sir.
All right, so let us know if it will state they're going to be live streaming that so we can grab that stream.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks so much. Folks, got to go to a break. We come back. We'll chat with another one of the candidates running for mayor of New Orleans. Election ends Saturday. That's next. Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network.
On the next Get Wealthy with me, Deborah Owens, America's Wealth Coach, we talk about the principles of mindset, strategy, and execution. This week, we're adding a fourth, faith. You're going to hear from a mother and daughter duo who are helping thousands of Black women build wealth, all through their faith.
You are more than you can ever imagine. Not just obtaining things to show that, but seeing yourself.
Making your faith work for you. That's right here on Get Wealthy, only on Black Star Network.
It's your boy Earthquake, giving Roland Martin something to do, because he don't know what to do. He from Texas. Ain't his fault.
Folks, Saturday is the mayoral election in New Orleans, and there are a number of candidates who are running. It has been an extremely active early voting period, as you've seen a lot of folks turning out in early voting. But again, now it all comes down to who can turn the voters out on Saturday. Yesterday, we featured City Council member Oliver Thomas. He is one of the top three candidates who's running. City Council Vice President Helena Marino also there, but Louisiana State Senator Royce Duplessis is also in the top three. He joins us right now. I'm glad to have you on the show. First and foremost, what is your main priority if you are elected mayor of New Orleans?
Thank you for having me, Roland. My main priority is to keep New Orleanians in New Orleans. We've lost over 20,000 people over the past 4 years in New Orleans, Roland. That's one of the top and greatest loss of population that any other city has seen in the country in that amount of time. So we have to keep people here because people are packing up their bags and people are leaving the city. So, if we continue down this trend, we won't have the city that we know and that we love. So it's about prioritizing the people who are here. And while we can still have all of the festivals and the events to keep people coming from around the world, the people who live here and who pay taxes here, who are from here, don't need to feel secondary to visitors and tourists.
Okay, but so you want to keep them there? How? How do you do that?
Housing affordability. So my plan over the course of 10 years, Roland, is to develop and preserve 40,000 affordable units. The reason I say 40,000 is the experts tell us that we actually need 47,000. So they say, Roy, stop saying 40,000. It's too ambitious. It's too bold. I said, no, we have to do it because as you and I are having this conversation, 30,000 are being squeezed out of the city. The cost of living is too high. So I want to develop and preserve 40,000 units over the course of 10 years. We put a plan in place. I'm going to hire the position to create the office of the chief housing officer that will facilitate what we just passed, which is a housing trust fund to go towards affordable housing. We're going to have roughly $20 million annually to leverage to put towards affordable housing investments. So that's critical, Roland. We have to deal with the issue also of homeowners insurance. I want to create a local fortified roof program to supplement the state program, because what we're going to do in Orleans Parish is if we get more people with fortified roofs that can withstand hurricane force winds, that can also help bring down homeowners insurance for people across this city. So housing is number one priority.
Obviously, but in order to have housing, you got to have a job. And so how are you looking to grow the economic base of New Orleans when, frankly, you're so dependent upon two things, petrochemical as well as tourism?
Yeah, so we're not as dependent on petrochemical as we once were. In fact, New Orleans lost significantly back in the 80s during the oil bust. But as you're right, it's been primarily tourism. I'm a believer that we have to play up our strengths, Roland. And two strengths that we have. Number one is the fact that we are a port city. We were built alongside the river. We are a maritime city. So the Port of New Orleans also presents a tremendous opportunity. Currently, there is an investment underway that will create, it's a $2 billion investment for the expansion of the container terminal project. That will be jobs for distribution, warehousing, logistics, jobs on average that pay $80,000. We look at Jefferson Parish, we look at St. Tammany Parish, both just got Amazon distribution hubs. Those Amazon distribution hubs and other businesses like that can go in places like New Orleans East that desperately needs and deserves economic investment. That's a strength that we already have. We don't have to go out and attract new industries because it's already here. We just have to lean in and grow it. Also, healthcare. I talked a lot about the redevelopment of Charity Hospital. You know, Roland, since Hurricane Katrina, Charity Hospital has not been touched. But we have what's called the Bio District that can redevelop and reimagine downtown, a lot more investment there in healthcare jobs, biotech jobs, bioengineering jobs. That's a prime opportunity. And those are the strengths that we have to play up. And then we can lean into other industries like aerospace. We see Alabama and Mississippi benefiting from investments in aerospace, but port expansion as well as healthcare are two industries that I think we can really grow in.
I asked Councilman Thomas the same question. I'll ask you. How do you deal with the reality of corruption? You're dealing with a mayor right now who's been indicted. You've had previous mayors that have been indicted, gone to prison. You've had council members. Councilman Thomas was involved in the bribery situation. What do you say to the public when it comes to the need to trust that people who are elected are not going to sell them out for personal interest?
You know, building and regaining trust is at the forefront of what we all have to do as elected leaders. When we go out to the community, when we go out to a church, when we go out there and ask people to vote for us, we are asking for their trust. And as you have pointed out, unfortunately, there have been one too many instances of where that trust has been broken. What I will do as mayor is ensure that I'm transparent. I will ensure that I never overpromise. And if there's something that I can't do, I will be honest. And I can accept the criticism, but it's important that we protect that trust, because you know how it's impacted voter turnout. A lot of our people don't vote because they don't trust the leadership. So I recognize that, and I'm sensitive to that. And a large part of why I'm running and why I chose public service is because I want to restore a sense of nobility to public service. I want to restore some faith in the leadership that people send to work on their behalf.
Question from my panel. Mustafa, you first.
Yeah, well, thank you for joining the show. I lived in New Orleans before. I've worked in New Orleans. There's about a 25-year life expectancy difference between zip codes. I'm curious how you will help to make sure that that no longer is the reality.
Well, you've been doing great work over the years, Mustafa. Look, when I was at Howard University School of Law, I founded the Howard Energy and Environmental Law Society in large part because of the work that I saw that was being done at the Environmental Protection Agency, is seeing how different neighborhoods were being impacted by environmental racism and environmental injustices that have historically impacted our communities. And we saw that happen and that being unveiled in the rawest way during Hurricane Katrina. I believe that if we go to the communities and we're closest to the problems where the problems exist in our communities, and we focus on addressing those needs, that's how we can best solve the problem. And the equity gaps that exist in New Orleans only have grown over the past several years. So I believe it's important to be proximate to the problems. When you talk about life expectancy, we have children in our community that are dealing with intergenerational trauma. We still have food deserts throughout our community. We still have one of the worst maternal mortality rates in the country throughout the state of Louisiana, but that's also pronounced in places like New Orleans. But I will prioritize the city's Department of Health and ensuring that we are always equity focused and equity driven. employing best practices so that our people who are suffering the most get the most attention.
Randy.
We've seen that the numbers are higher than normal when it comes to early voter turnout this year, which is great. What are you going to do in the next week to ensure that people show up at the polls on Election Day? Because the two aren't always correlated.
Yeah, they're not always correlated, but I think it's a great indication that people are ready for change, that people want new leadership, people want a different style of leadership. So my plan is to be as visible as I can, encouraging everyone to vote. What I always say is, obviously, I want people to vote for me, but I want people to just to vote, understanding that this is their voice, this is their right, that don't give it away, right? Keep the enthusiasm. Before I came on the show, I was out in the hot sun waving signs in the middle of traffic. You know, I want people to understand that the change starts with them showing up at the ballot box. We also have a charter amendment that's on the ballot. In addition to the mayoral election and the city council election, we have what's called the Second Chance Amendment that will protect individuals who've returned home from prison, who've served their time, to ensure that they're not discriminated against for housing, employment, and education. So we want people to be aware and educated about all these things that are on the ballot. And the fact that we have more than double of the turnout for early voting than we had 8 years ago is a clear sign that people are excited and they're ready for change. And we're going to work from sunup to sundown, even after sundown, to remind people of the need to continue to show up and vote.
Joe.
Thank you.
So mayors are on the front lines as it pertains to relationship with the federal government. Ideally, there would be a positive relationship. There's a lot of opportunity for collaboration, et cetera, moving towards common goals. But you know what we're dealing with in Washington and what mayors are seeing. Tell me how you would deal with Washington, D.C. Stepping in areas that they shouldn't, trying to provoke and pull things down on cities that are inconsistent with the city's growth, with the city's health, et cetera. Take us through that and what you'd see there.
Thank you. So I currently serve in the Louisiana Senate, and the Louisiana legislature is basically a microcosm, and it's very similar to what we're seeing up in Washington in terms of this current administration and the MAGA agenda. It's fully in play. So I've had to navigate a very hostile climate and stand up and defend the city of New Orleans, protect the city of New Orleans, advocate on behalf of the city of New Orleans. What we're seeing play out throughout the country in majority Black cities, cities that have Black leadership, cities that are majority Democrat. Right here in the city of New Orleans, y'all probably aware that the governor requested 1,000 troops, federal guard troops, to be deployed throughout Louisiana, but only in New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and Shreveport. So what I would say to the governor, and what I have said to the governor, and what I will say to the president, is that we welcome support. We want support. But the way that we want support is you ask us how we can best serve our communities. Los Angeles spent $120 million on federal troops. Do you know what we can do with that kind of money? Investing in the New Orleans Recreation Department, investing into the housing developments that I'm talking about, investing into economic development and job opportunities for young people. We know how to solve crime in our communities. And while we've had a recent spike over the past few days, crime is down in the city of New Orleans. But we know that this is a larger play that has nothing to do with crime. It's about power. It's about trying to show force of militarization in cities. We want to employ community policing throughout the city of New Orleans so that the people in New Orleans know who's patrolling their neighborhoods, not unnamed federal guards that are patrolling neighborhoods. So I would want to continue to have that conversation with this administration, but it unfortunately is going in a direction that it shouldn't be, and I'll have to stand up and defend my city.
I'll ask this here. You've got your current and former member of Congress, Cedric Richmond, Troy Carter. Both of them are endorsing Helen Moreno. And so I've heard from people that say, hey, that black politics in New Orleans is split. Some say, hey, who cares? We don't necessarily need a black mayor of New Orleans. What do you say to folks who say that, well, others believe that it's critically important to continue black leadership as the mayor of New Orleans?
Well, the first thing is that I say everybody has a right to endorse who they want to endorse. But of the list of people that you named, they don't speak for the entire black community. So let me say that there. And I'm proud to say that I have a ton of black leadership support from Congressman Cleo Fields, strongly endorsed. From Congressman Fields, I have the endorsement of former Mayor Sidney Kamlager-Dove. I have the endorsement of the first black Chief Justice of the Louisiana Supreme Court, Burnett Johnson, who I used to work for and is my mentor. But outside of that, I'm proud to say that I have a plethora of endorsements from black leadership in the city of New Orleans. As it relates to the conversation around whether or not the city needs a black leader, look, let me be clear. The city of New Orleans is still majority black. And during these times where we're seeing attacks on black leadership, I think it's important to point out that representation still matters. Now, do I think somebody should be elected mayor just because they're black? Absolutely not. But I do believe when you have qualified, competent black leadership, we should be always working to promote that and identify that and identify and promote that in cities that are majority black. I think it's important. And with that said, everybody has their choice. But I think in these times, we need to be cognizant of what is going on throughout this country. And, people fought for us to have this representation. And it's something that I take very seriously. And I'm proud to have the support of many black leaders in this city. And ultimately, it's going to be the support of the majority of the people of New Orleans that I'm seeking, not just black leadership, but all the voters of New Orleans. I'm seeking their support.
All right, Senator Royce Duplessis, we appreciate it. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
All right, folks, going to a break. We'll be right back. Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network. We'll talk about the case out of Louisiana of the young man, the former LSU football standout, Kyren Lacy. With NAACP there wants action of the legislature. We'll talk about that. You're watching the Black Star Network. Don't forget to support the work that we do. Join our Brina Funk fan club. You want to contribute via Cash App. Use the Stripe QR code. You see it right here, bottom left-hand corner. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle, Roland at RolandSMartin.com. Roland at RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Checks and money order. Make it payable to Roland Martin Unfiltered. P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 2003 7-0196. Back in a moment.
They said the quiet part out loud. Black votes are a threat, so they erased them. After the Supreme Court gutted the Voting Rights Act in 2013, Republican legislatures moved fast. New voter ID laws, polling place shutdowns, purges of black voters from the rolls. Trump's Justice Department didn't stop it, they joined in. In 2018, his DOJ backed Ohio's voter purge system, a scheme that disproportionately erased black voters. Their goal, erase black votes and political power. Yeah, that happened. These are the kinds of stories that we cover every day on Roland Martin Unfiltered. Subscribe on YouTube and download the Black Star Network app. Support fact-based independent journalism that centers African Americans and the issues that matter to our community.
If in this country right now, you have people get up in the morning and the only thing they can think about is how many people they can hurt, and they got the power, that's the time for mourning.
For better or worse, what makes America special, it's that legal system that's supposed to protect minorities from the tyranny of the majority.
We are at a point of a moral emergency. We must raise a voice of outrage. We must raise a voice of compassion. And we must raise a voice of unity.
We are not in a crisis of party versus party. We are in a crisis of civilization, a human rights crisis, and a crisis of democracy itself. And guess what? You've been chosen to make sure that those that would destroy, those that would hate, don't have the final say, and they don't ultimately win.
Hey, What's up, everybody? It's Godfrey, the funniest dude on the planet. And you're watching
Roland Martin Unfiltered.
Louisiana State Police, they are pushing back on allegations from the attorney of the late Kyren Lacy that he was not close to the accident where he was charged. This is first of all, they put this video out because on Friday, his attorney said that Kyren Lacy had nothing to do with this. Folks have been calling for a local federal investigation as well. In the footage, troopers claim all evidence points to Lacy's reckless driving in a green Dodge Charger as the trigger for the chain reaction that killed 78-year-old Herman Hall. Investigators also noted Lacy called a personal injury attorney less than 10 minutes after the crash. Here's a body cam video released by the state police from the crash scene.
That's a very hard dispatcher. We have a weapons incident, Circle K, 7th Monroe. What do you have in your hand? Show me your hands.
102, be advised, we got total road blockage on LA 20.
If you get a chance, can you advise code of injury?
Civil.
The natural instinct to turn and then she had no hit head on.
How you doing?
Did you see a green Charger flying that way? A green Charger that going that way?
There was a green Charger.
There was a green Charger that caused all this. SRT8, he caused all that. He went to pass the cars way back there, sir.
The green Charger collided with these cars?
He went right between.
He went around that truck, okay? He was passing up with her right now, and she had no choice. She hits the pole, she hits this.
How are they injuries? What
she
are they?
got a broken ankle.
Two are back injuries and then stuff like that. I was
so two back injuries, one broken ankle?
Yeah. I just told him not to move. You know what I'm saying? Me being my partner.
You said something about a green Charger. Who told you something about a green Charger?
I'm down 18 wheel right there, sir.
Okay, so you saw it?
I saw it.
What did you see happen?
He went to pass him. I say when he went to pass me cars back there. He was back there around around the curve. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Hey, he come down. Right. When he come down, I got Mr. Okay. He had his brother that he was taken to the emergency room, to the hospital or something like that, chemo, something like that. But I got his number also to verify this, because he was a car that was in front of her. When that green Charger came, he went caused this whole big traffic, so everybody went to hitting brakes because the Charger, I thought he hit the gold truck head on. So he jammed on brakes. She was coming down, they was going that way. When I saw...
Which way was the Charger going? The Charger
going this way.
Charger's going this way, okay.
She was coming this way.
Okay.
They was going this way also. Mr. jammed on brakes. She went to dodge Mr. And that's when she came on.
I was about to gas
hit him, on the left side. She come over and hit him.
Which 18 wheel were you driving?
The rebel.
Okay. So the Charger, I guess, passed you up?
The Charger D-line, it was cars behind me because I'm taking my time.
And the Charger was passing all these cars in this
everybody.
And so almost hit this one head on?
No, he almost hit this. It was a gold truck. I got his number right here. That's why I took his number and his name.
Almost hit the gold truck head on?
Yeah, that's his number and phone number and name.
So the gold truck, what did the gold truck do?
The gold truck in his area right here.
The gold truck slams on his brakes.
Slams on brakes to stop the Charger. The Charger swerves back in.
Okay.
And cut somebody else off, whoever was behind them.
Okay.
They slammed on, the Charger, he swerved in front of them. They slammed on brakes. And by this time, he slips through, right?
Okay.
As he slips through, she's coming. She like to round the back of the gold truck. That's what I'm saying.
She almost hit the back of Miss.
Yeah, Miss.
Was Miss truck hit?
No. He was missed.
Okay. So the truck, Mr. He slammed on it.
In other words, the gold truck was right up there.
Right.
Yeah.
He slams on his brakes to avoid the Charger.
Yeah.
This car, what?
Cut that car off, if I'm not mistaken.
So what does this car do? It just swerves out the way to avoid?
To avoid him.
So
because I was watching it too.
She turned the wrong way. Yeah. Instead of going towards the post, she turned this way.
Yeah. Okay, so she turned this way, and then this car was just coming.
Yeah.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah. And then the Charger came around.
That's the number for the guy that was in the gold truck.
Okay.
Charger passed in between the mailbox and the car.
Stopped.
I took that because he was leaving, but you know.
Okay.
And see what happened, the Charger had stopped.
Is a green Charger?
Yeah.
It's
But
a green
then
Charger.
when he seen what happened, he almost hit me because he came right here and kept going.
He was the only one that that jumped out of traffic. Everybody else turned around went the other way. He jumped out of traffic, eased through here, and went on down the road.
Okay. Okay. Look, I know it's hurting right now, but do you think you could just tell me briefly what happened, or do you remember?
I just know the truck was stopping on brakes. The other car was trying to pass the other car. I was trying to dodge by not hitting them by coming around.
Okay. Do you remember how fast you were going?
The speed limit.
Yeah.
Okay.
39.
Thank you.
Lacy's family attorney released separate surveillance footage arguing it proves Lacy wasn't responsible for the wreck and was nearly 80 feet from the crash at the moment of impact. The Louisiana NAACP released a statement that reads, in part, the Louisiana State Conference of the NAACP is calling for the immediate resignation of Colonel Robert Hodges following his public attempt to justify the actions surrounding the death of Kyren Lacy. The NAACP is urging citizens across Louisiana to stand with them in demanding accountability from state leadership. Members of the public are encouraged to contact Governor Jeff Landry and Attorney General Liz Morrell to voice their concerns and support this call for change. Michael McClanahan is the president of the NAACP, Baton Rouge. He joins us right now. Michael, glad to have you here. So now we have conflicting video. We have the attorney releasing the video on Friday. Now we have the state police releasing this video today. Your assessment?
Well, they should have, the state police is the chief law enforcement officer in the state, the premier law enforcement agency. Why didn't they release this earlier? Why didn't they do their due diligence? Because we're suspicious of the state police when they issue anything anyway. We still have fresh in our minds the Ronald Reagan matter, the Aaron Bowman matter, and other matters like that, in which they did sloppy police work. And so when you have a death like this here, a traffic accident, and you have so many moving pieces, they should have done due diligence to let us know what was going on, but they didn't. Now they're trying to backtrack and cover their tracks, but it's too late now. Suspect police work.
All right. So again, for y'all, what now?
Well, we believe that if they have hidden stuff initially, that they got some more evidence that they're trying to hide. They don't want to let it be seen that they did sloppy police work, and that we will be forever questioning their abilities and their sincerity and their truthfulness. And so if they don't do that, we believe that you have to start with the head, with the top people, because the people at the bottom is only good as the leadership. They sound like it is bad leadership. So all the way down the chain of command, at least at the very top 3 levels, need to be fired, need to resign.
Have y'all heard from the AG, from the governor's office, anyone?
No, I haven't personally. No one's contacted the NAACP or my leadership throughout this region here.
All right then, and have any response so far from the attorney for the family as a result of this new video being dropped?
Well, no, but what has happened, Roland, is that we've started to get information starting to come in based upon just that one statement we made. We've gotten some information that was not privy to anyone, as I believe, earlier. And it almost seems as though this accident happened a few months ago. This accident happened a few minutes ago, some while ago. And so to get information that we got coming in clearly somebody hasn't done their due diligence. And so this is a wake-up call. This is a wake-up call for people in the state of Louisiana. If you want justice, if you want to be heard, you have to bring what you got to the forefront. And so we're doing that now because we're going to uncover the truth in the matter. We're going to determine, we're going to find out what happened and what should have happened in this particular case so that we could have eliminated some grief at one or both ends in this matter.
All right, then. Well, Michael, we appreciate it, and we'll certainly see how this develops out.
Appreciate you, Roland. Thank you always for your time. And you know, we really appreciate you this weekend, man. I got more calls, man. I've got even for Halloween or Thanksgiving. So thank you, brother.
Well, glad to hear that, and glad we had a sold-out audience on Saturday there in Baton Rouge.
Most definitely appreciate you. Stay strong.
All right, thank you very much. All right, folks, we're going to go to a break. We'll be right back. Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network.
On the next Get Wealthy with me, Deborah Owens, America's Wealth Coach, we talk about the principles of mindset, strategy, and execution. This week, we're adding a fourth, faith. You're going to hear from a mother and daughter duo who are helping thousands of Black women build wealth, all through their faith.
You are more than you can ever imagine. Not just obtaining things to show that, but seeing yourself.
Making your faith work for you. That's right here on Get Wealthy, only on Black Star Network.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Jerry Johnson from Harlem on Prime, and you're watching the Black Star Network.
Folks, I've seen some crazy-ass police video. This is one of the craziest. This comes from Leon County, Florida. So, y'all, a deputy, hold on, a deputy. This dude is pumping gas. And while he's pumping gas, a deputy is driving by and all of a sudden rolls up on him, pulls his gun out because he said the guy had a weapon. But it was the gas pump. This took place at a Circle K in Tallahassee. Y'all watch this.
That's a very hard dispatcher. We have a weapons incident, Circle K, 7th Monroe. What do you have in your hand? Show me your hands. Okay. Stay in the car. Okay, turn around. Place your hands behind your back. What are you doing?
I'm filling up gas, can.
You understand you're holding it like this, like it's a pistol, right?
No, I was showing her to cut the pump on.
Okay, but that's not what it looks like to the motoring public on the roadway.
I was just showing her the thing to let her know to get the gas.
Do you have your ID on you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I turn around?
Yeah, that's fine.
Dang,
All right. But you understand you're holding it like this and it looks like a handgun, right?
No, I'm trying to let her know to pump the gas, bro.
Okay.
Why you, what the fuck? You just pulled a gun out on me.
Yeah, I'm 10-4. Sorry, there's an individual who had something that looked like a gun in his hand. Got out working through it. Yeah, I'll be on telephone.
bad. You know I'm gonna get a lawsuit on you.
Okay.
Showing her later.
That's okay. I've got a 490.
Look at this shit. Let me tell you what this motherfucker just did. I'm getting it. Man, I'm gonna lose the hell out there.
521-775-87.
Man, that man just got a full gun on it. The police did. Yeah. Because I held up the thing to let them know I needed to pump the gas. They got cameras down here in Circle K.
775-87-142.
Put your hands in there. Put your hands behind your back. Yeah, what? He did. I'm sure there's cameras.
Mr. Rupp.
I ain't got nothing to say to you, bro. I ain't did shit and I ain't being detained. I want to go. I don't got nothing to say to you. You know what you did. I don't got no rap for you.
Well, it looks like he's holding a gun.
Man, that don't look like no gun when you see this bitch right here swinging.
I didn't see that, sir.
Man, yeah, you saw what you wanted to see. You saw a motherfucker with tattoos. Why would I be holding the gun like this right here? And who? Okay. Man, you saw what you wanted to see. Okay. You profiling motherfucker. Hey, I want your badge number though. I need all that.
It's 385.
I need all that.
It's 385.
I know what to do.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, what happened?
So I'm driving down the road, and he's got something black in his hand, and he's moving it like it's a pistol. So I pulled in to investigate what was going on. That's all it was.
Oh, yeah, because the pump his pump wasn't on, and he was signaling me that the pump wasn't.
I'm a French police officer in Alabama. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Just the guy had something in his hand that looked like a gun, and I was like, "What are we doing?"
Yeah, I noticed him as we were coming up.
Okay.
Yeah,
so you saw him with the thing in his hand?
I saw him with the gas pump in his hand. Yeah.
Yeah, his pump wasn't working, and he was signaling me that the gas wasn't on the pump.
Is he causing a problem at y'all's store?
No, he come in here every day faithfully after work. He come in here to get gas and cigarettes every day. He don't cause nothing. Hey, I don't want to hold the gas pump again. You'll start the gas over time? Yes, I will. Hey, what's your name? Lawler. You'll sign the statement and you'll get kept a picture of everything you did. I just said I had none.
Yeah.
Hold on, now
Can I just get your name? Yeah.
Jake.
J-A-K-E.
Yeah.
How do you spell it?
A-U-W.
A-U-W. U-W.
E-R-D-A.
E-R-D-A.
Yeah.
And phone number?
Okay. Just say a witness thing.
Okay, I'm going to have to put his 936
And you work for who?
I'm Pritchard Police Department.
Pritchard in Alabama?
Yeah.
P-R-I-T-C-H-A-R-D?
Yeah.
Okay.
You spelled it better than some of the locals we got.
Yeah, so what did you see when you pulled that?
Come on, baby.
He was just holding this gas pump up like this. I don't know what he had in his hand. He was just kind of raising it up. I don't know if he was trying to straighten it out or what.
Okay.
You can see my law enforcement ID. I know a lot of people contact me and
All right, you have a great day.
No problem.
Despite the mistake, the man did not receive an apology from the officer who got into his car and drove away. The Leon County Sheriff's Office has stated that it will review the incident for potential training purposes or further actions. However, there's been no information regarding any possible disciplinary action against the officer involved. Joe, dude could have been shot. I mean, you're driving by, it looked like you had a gun. How about your ass roll up and let me get a better look? You literally jump out of your car, gun already pulled. That's crazy.
This is all of us, man. Listen, you know, how many of us gone to the gas station, you're gonna go get you some Gatorade or get you some Fritos or something, and you pull up in there, give them a 20 and say, put the rest on number 4, right? You feel me? Then you go out to the car and you pull the thing out and you press the button and it's not resetting and you're still holding it. You're not putting it back in. You're holding it and you're going like this. You're going. And so it's not in the car tank, and it's not because you've already pulled it out because you expected it to start. And if that's the difference between somebody getting shot and somebody not getting shot, listen, we've got a serious, serious problem. It would have been very easy for this guy. I mean, the guy was right. He was tatted up for a second there. I thought he could have been a brother, but no, it looked like he's a white cat and everything else. And he told the officer, he said, you know what, you saw what you wanted to see. You know what I mean? And what do we do when folks are so uptight? People can be uptight, but police with guns and badges and society's, benefit of the doubt, they can't get it wrong because when they get it wrong, people die. And then it's kind of like this, too bad, so sad kind of thing. He cannot miss like that because all of us do that. That could be you trying to stay out of trouble, but you're going to get some gas on the way home. It's not even your option to have the gas pump done by the people that work there anymore. That doesn't happen in but 1 or 2 states. What do I do when I'm there? Now, give me a hoodie, right? Because I'm coming back from working out. Or make me look less than having a suit on or what I'm wearing right now. And then they might be putting something on me that soap won't wash off. You've got to do something about this because police officers, folks with guns and training, apparently, purportedly, cannot make these types of mistakes. And I'm right there with him. He had the right to be mad as heck because I don't need that kind of grief. Cops rolling up on me. He goes to the gas station every day. You know what I mean? So, that might have been a good question to ask on the front end. Figure it out on the front end. Drive by and see, okay, the guy's he's got the gas pump, trying to get the gas pump to work. It's crazy though, man. Just stay prayed up, I guess.
I'm sitting here, dude is just sitting here pumping, and he's just getting her attention, and Mustafa the cop's like, oh, he got a gun.
Well, you know what? I've heard about driving while black, but never gassing while white, which must be a new thing down south. Joe hit it on the head. He laid it all out for you. But, when we're talking about profiling, right? Profiling is part psychological. It is about a type that you have in your mind that is less than, that is more likely to have committed a crime. So that's the dynamic that continues to play out. And until we change that through pressure on police unions and police forces to actually do the additional work to be able to, I understand that you have a job to do. But as Joe said, it is a job where you're literally holding someone's life in your hand because you have your finger on the trigger. So I'm glad that this gentleman did not get shot. I'm glad that we are having a conversation about profiling and understanding that folks who come from vulnerable and marginalized communities are the ones who often are the ones that end up falling victim. I just pray that nobody else loses their life because a law enforcement officer profiled them and didn't see their humanity before they pulled the trigger or caused bodily harm.
That's insane, Randy.
Because
my man is like, I could have been shot getting gas.
Right. And because they walk around with guns, we need to stop being so easy on these cops and giving them multiple chances. In my opinion, that cop does not need to be a cop any further. One, he's a little too jittery. The fact that he is thinking the man, the guy's just getting gas for people do every day. But then it was how he acted after the incident. He was trying to build a case to justify his terrible decision making and his own jitteriness. You saw how he was asking the other cop, well, what did you see? And then he asked the clerk, well, does he ever cause you any problems? Just trying to find a way to create a case against this man who was doing nothing but trying to get gas. And we all know that if the white tatted guy had been a brother, it could have been way worse. Let's just keep it real. We talk about profiling.
Yeah,
you don't need to be
I didn't understand why he was asking the dude for his ID. Like,
I do.
Like, why the hell I gotta give you ID? It's a gas pump. Why I got? I'm telling you, yo, when I say these cops are tripping, and they tripping, y'all. They tripping. All right, let me go to this break. I'll be right back. Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network.
That's a problem. Get some guy, you know.
Next on the Black Table with me, Greg Carr. A reminder that there is always more to a story than meets the eye. From book bannings, growing censorship in our classrooms, and the loss of basic human rights, the actual motivations behind those actions and others paint an even more troubling picture than most of us realize.
What we need to do is bring this issue front and center to the table, because the alternative is that we'll just go down slow, which is no way to go down.
Master historian and educator Dr. Gerald Horn joins us again, and we take a deep dive into the truths behind the headlines of the day and how we might be able to turn the tide. That's on the next Black Table here on the Black Star Network.
This week on A Balanced Life, parents, teachers, students, administrators, oh my, are you putting in the work, seeking to be a teacher, an associate principal, a principal, trying to elevate who you are and where you're going?
Our world is changing. For veteran teachers, we have to be able to usher in students into a ever-changing, ever-evolving world.
If we have this triangular effect, we will create a successful student who will be able to just thrive wherever and in any situation that they're placed in.
Join us this week on A Balanced Life with Dr. Jackie here on Black Star Network.
I'm Risa Colbert, and you're watching the Black Star Network.
All right, folks, in our Shop Black Star Network segment, let's talk about what we also know as smocks. Now, that ain't what the folks in the healthcare industry call them. We've seen different phrases used, and let's just be honest. For a long time, they've been really damn bland and boring. And we've got entrepreneurs, folks who say, you know what, can we please make these outfits better? And our next guest, that's what they do. So they have they have their own line. There are several people who I know, and they've really been focusing on this. So you're talking about doctors, you're talking about nurses, so many people in the healthcare profession, because what do they want? They want maximum comfort. They want them to look good, to feel good, and that's what they are all about. So let's get right into it, y'all. Joining us right now, from Maryland, Lanham, Maryland, our newest product in the Black Star Network marketplace segment is Dr. Nikki. She's the CEO of and founder of Morgan Taylor Scrubs. She's a licensed physical therapist. So first of all, Dr. Nikki, who's Morgan Taylor?
Well, Morgan Taylor is the name of my first baby that I've always wanted to have because my grandmother's from Jamaica and Taylor's her maiden name. And Morgan, since it's unisex, since I have a men's and a women's line, I felt that it was perfect to call it Morgan Taylor because the name of my company is actually Freckled LLC, since I have freckles. doing business as Morgan Taylor Scrubs, and I didn't feel that men should be wearing scrubs that's called freckled, so Morgan Taylor Scrubs.
All right, then. So you're calling these premium scrubs, okay? So why are they premium scrubs?
Well, number one, it's the fabric. I took a long time to figure out what I wanted. I researched fabric for a very long time. It's 97% cotton, 3% spandex.
Okay.
And it's also antimicrobial, which means that it limits the amount of bugs you bring home. It's moisture.
That's quite helpful.
Yes, and moisture wicking. And I actually have made designs to fit you so much better. Women with curves, men with curves, or I wouldn't say curves, but scrubs are just not comfortable. They were just made boxy and they were ill-fitting. They didn't complement you. And I completely believe that if you look good, you feel good, you definitely treat your patients the way they deserve to be treated. And that's the mission that I'm on.
All right, now, were you also testing with other people you know? Were you also getting their advice and counsel as well in terms of the fit and how things should be?
Yes, for years I've tested the fit, I've tested the fabric, and I listen to what my customers are looking for. They want a lot of pockets, they want something that's flattering, that covers them, because a lot of scrubs, when you raise your arms up or when you bend down, you show the crack of your bottom. My scrubs don't do that. I've actually made adjustments in the waistband to make it come up a little bit higher so it keeps you covered while you're working.
Okay. And so as you were going through this here, and so as we pull these out here, these are sort of like sweatpants. I'm talking about in terms of how they're being made, how they're being, when I'm feeling material, because even a lot of the sweatpants have actually changed, the material that they've actually changed to make them a lot different. And I can definitely tell, look, I play lots of golf, so the moisture wicker, I can easily pick up on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So how many colors you got?
So we have, right now we have 6 colors: burgundy, black, and gray. We have some blue, purple, and a limited amount of white right now.
Okay. And how have they thus been received?
I've been getting nothing but great compliments, repeat customers, and I'm getting requests to make different things that I'm going to be working on, and I'm eager to see what's to come.
Okay. All right, then. Let's see here. Questions from my panel. Randy, what you got?
So let me ask you that, do usually the medical professionals buy their own scrubs, or do hospitals and doctors' offices supply them? Because I'm wondering, are you selling directly to the consumer, or are you selling to businesses?
So it's both. Currently, I sell online, and I'm working on getting contracts with hospitals, nursing schools, and regular schools, and that's what I'm working on. So yes, sometimes hospitals will supply the scrubs, or you just need to purchase it on your own. And also looking to work with the government as well.
Thank you.
Mustafa.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Nikki, congratulations. The question I have is about tariffs and how will you navigate that, or are there already impacts since your product is made from both cotton and polyester?
Well, thank you. They're made from 97% cotton and 3% spandex. I actually have stock on hand right now. So I currently have not really been hit by the tariffs as yet. Once I do make my next order, I'll be able to see what changes will need to be played. But my goal is not to raise the product price at all. My goal is to keep it where it is, as easy as much as possible, because I know times is hard right now, and I also want my customers to be happy as well. So once we make our next order, I'll be able to tell what the changes are, but I do anticipate some minor changes, yes.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Joe?
Dr. Nikki, there would seem to be a gaping hole in the market for you to do this, and I congratulate you on doing it. Does it surprise you at all? I mean, People of all shapes and sizes do work that requires wearing scrubs. Does it surprise you that this is just something that somebody hasn't done or that's underdone in any event where, it would really strike a chord like it has, sounds like it has? But is it a bit of a surprise to you that this lane is available, or are you seeing this type of thing online?
I was surprised when I started the business, yes, but I do see that people are making some changes now because the fit is definitely important. Not everybody is slim and tiny.
Right.
We got to accommodate. Majority of the people are plus size. And let's be realistic. If you are making scrubs for the majority of the people and it doesn't fit them, they're not really going to feel comfortable in their skin, and they're not going to feel good about wearing your scrubs either. So I had that problem. I hated the way I looked in my scrubs, and it really did affect the way that I treated my patients. So I was having a conversation with my mom back in 2009, and I'm like, Ma, I really can't stand the way these scrubs fit. And, my mom, who's an entrepreneur herself, God rest her soul, I miss her dearly, she was like, well, why don't you make your own scrubs? And I'm like, yeah, why not? And that's how it started.
Sizes. What are your sizes?
Extra small to 4XL, and our pants come in short, regular, and long.
Extra smalls. That's for little bitty people.
Yeah, we do have some itty bitty people who have curves too. We can't leave them out,
Well, the reason I say little itty bitty people, so my niece is working. I think she's in a nursing program. She's in some kind of medical program. So she'll be rocking these scrubs, and so I'm quite sure she'll be checking it out.
I love it.
And so, last question here. So you have your name on here, Morgan Taylor Scrubs. Are you able to have personalized scrubs where people can put their own name on it?
Yes, I have an embroiderer who is ready to do whatever anybody requests. Yes.
Okay. All right then. Well, cool. Well, first of all, again, folks, if you're looking for these scrubs, go to shopblackstarnetwork.com. Shopblackstarnetwork.com. You can go there now. You can see all the products that are on there. This is where we have all of our Black-owned products, and so you definitely can check it out if you're looking for these scrubs. And so no matter what area you are in the medical profession, please, you can do that. So, first of all, this is pretty cool. Congratulations on it, and good luck with it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this opportunity. I appreciate it.
All right, then. Thanks a bunch. And so we are glad to hear it. So that is it for us. I do have one more thing. Let me see here. Get the video, see here running. So, it's always things happening. So remember, I was with my niece. This is one of my other little nieces. First of all, this was the day. So we were in Houston in July. Let me turn the audio up so y'all can hear exactly what transpired in this here. So check this out.
Stop.
Second oldest niece with that ratty hair.
And this is what it looks like when you're about to take the bar exam in like 3 days.
I want to hear that.
Well, that's why. Stop.
It looks like when you take the bar exam in 3 days. And so my niece, Chloe Marshall, passed the bar on her first time. And so congratulations. So that means now, she not got to pay for stuff. So that free ride is over, y'all. See, Joe, that's how it goes. See, Joe, listen, when you're in law school and you studying, but now you done pass, ain't no free ride, Joe. Ain't no more free rides.
Come on with it. You done passed and jump on in the world. Congratulations to her. But here's the part where she gets to kick in. Praise the Lord.
Oh, absolutely. So, she can't play that. She no longer can play that. That little I'm in school card, Randy. It's done. It's over. We had to deal with your ass going to high school, undergrad, and law school. That's it. You got to pony up.
Well, congratulations to her. And I'm sorry, I disagree with you. I think that you all still need to help her out. You know, she's going to be.
You done lost your damn mind.
You know I'm going to argue for the sister.
What the hell? What the hell we got to help her out with? No. Well, which part did your ass miss? She passed the. She is a lawyer, a licensed lawyer.
Yeah, but she's starting out,
hell no.
For the young sister. I'm sorry.
You lost your damn mind. No, hell no. No, Mustafa. See, now you got to contribute to the family dinners. Now you got to put money in. I see that free ride is over.
Yeah. Well, black excellence comes with a price. Right?
Yeah, it's like, hey, with a family gathering, and we send your ass to the store to go get some ice or some other stuff, we ain't giving you money. We ain't cash apping. You now got to pay up.
Yeah, well, she got it covered. And again, shout out to Black Excellence. We really need to highlight when these young people are just doing amazing things. And I'm sure she going to contribute to the family because she was raised.
You damn right she going to contribute to the family. And then if she don't, the chokehold, y'all, will be happening again. So don't think for a second just because, see, this what's going to look like, y'all, when she don't pay up. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's going to be, Anthony, will you please come on, dog? What you doing? Wake up. Thank you. I pointed to the iPad. So I'm letting y'all know, you don't pay up, this what's going to happen. I was right. That's right. It'll be a chokehold. It's gonna be a chokehold. I'm snatching money.
Roland, can't we all just get along?
Hell no. Oh, hell no. I am the family enforcer. See, everybody else soft.
Right.
I jack kids. I jack kids and young adults. Everybody get jacked. You gotta run that gauntlet. You gotta run it. All right, then. So so Chloe, congratulations. But now you're paying up. I'm just saying. Now you're paying up. All right. Joe, Randy, Mustafa, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Folks, that is it for us right here at Roland Martin Unfiltered. Shout out to Bowie State. Yes, I'm rocking Bowie State's t-shirt today. I had Southern University on yesterday, so I wanted to wear the black and gold today as well. So that's what's happening. Y'all, if y'all want to contribute to our show, join the Bring the Funk fan club. Your dollars are critically important for the work that we do. And so please, you want to give via Cash App, use the Stripe QR code. You see it right here. Also, for credit cards, use this QR code. PayPal's R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle, Roland at RolandSMartin.com, Roland at RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can also get checks and money order, send to make it payable to Roland Martin Unfiltered, P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 2003 7-0196. Download the Black Star Network app. Apple phone, Android phone, Apple TV, Android TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Xbox One, Samsung Smart TV. Be sure to, of course, get my book, White Fear, The Browning of America, is making white folks lose their minds. Available on bookstores nationwide. Get the audio version I read on Audible. Also, folks, if you want to get our Roland Martin Unfiltered Black Star Network swag, go to shop.blackstarnetwork.com and get the merchandise, t-shirts, hoodies, wall art, mugs, and more. If you also want to support our black-owned products, such as Morgan Taylor Scrubs, you see them, go to our marketplace right there on shop.blackstarnetwork.com. Scroll down, let's go. Let's see the products. Scroll down, let's go. Come on, scroll down. Y'all, we do this every day. Why are we so slow? Come on now. So you see all the products on our website, all the black-owned products, you can see them right here. And why are we going to black? I don't understand. Okay, all the products on here, y'all. So can we go back to scrolling, please? Thank you. So you see all the products. Keep going. Thank you. We do this every day. Can we get it right? Thank you. So you see all this stuff. Crossword puzzles. You see art. You see candles. You see relishes. You got sauces. You got facial products. All this stuff to my left right here. You got backpacks. You got car cleaning stuff. You got gym wrap to keep the sweat, keep your hair straight. All this stuff right here. So again, support our black-owned companies, y'all. Thanksgiving's coming up. Christmas coming up. Birthday's coming up. Yo, Support black-owned businesses. Don't forget also download the app Fanbase. That's right, get the app Fanbase. Download that app. And of course, you can also, if you want to invest, go to startengine.com/fanbase, startengine.com/fanbase. Tomorrow, it's going to be an investathon right here for Fanbase. So it's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern right here, Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network. Folks, that's it. Hope you have a great one. I will see y'all tomorrow.